Morning.
Morning.
Or afternoon, whatever it is. Happy New Year.
PG, the Cambrian seems to, the maturation, you're seeing it from bug-eyed and wondering, now it's kind of slowing down a little bit, not saying a lot. Would you talk about his maturation and how pleased are you with considering the reps he's had, how far he's come?
I think it's most telling, feedback we got from his college career, and then when the scouting department, they did a good job when they met with those guys. Diligent worker, works hard in terms of, studying off the field and on the field, and he's really been a sponge. So, any young player being a sponge, listening to coaches, listening to players. The thing that's encouraging about him, the main thing for me is, aside from him competing and aside from him having all the skill sets, is the fact that he doesn't have a lot of repeat mistakes. So that's a credit to him. That's a credit to his coaches. They're doing a good job with them. But that's the main thing that's showing up for me. I mean, the skill set's there. He's big. He's long. He's fast. He's smart. Competes. But I'll tell you this: the progress he's made in the passing game. The thing I'm most proud of is the run game. He had some good run support the other day. I was good with that.
Patrick, you talk about players earning, their reps, and Thomas Harper seems like a case study in that, especially towards the last couple of weeks. What has he shown you, and what do you feel like his future is, in terms of the NFL?
Aside from his affinity to having candy on him all the time, just checking. He has Skittles and all types of stuff on him all the time. So he's good for the snacks, so you can always check with him on that. But the main thing with him, he's pretty quiet. But he studies, and he's a sponge as well. Again, give credit to the personnel department. They brought in some guys that, they just young guys that are just hungry for information. And, GA does a good job in that safety room of feeding them information. He's really taking it, the one robber, we had a one robber, I think, against Denver in the first game, the first half before the 2-minute. I believe he was the safety, and he dove down. He didn't get that same ball. Then you see it week 17, there's the ball, boom, bang, and it's an interception. To me, again, I tell you all the time as a teacher, you take those two plays and you can show them, hey, this is where you were week 5 or 6 or whatever it was. Now here you are week 17, and you make that play, and it's because of his hard work. Hard work and the fact that he listens,
Obviously, you never want to see guys get injured, but because of as many guys you guys have had out this year, has been a lot of young guys and maybe guys who wouldn't have had as big of roles stepping in.
Mm-hmm.
As a coach, how valuable is that to you to be able to kind of evaluate your depth and see who might be able to be useful?
Well, just the 16 years I've been in the league, it's a young person's league anyway. Whether it's players, coaches, as you get older, you get more expensive, so they're always trying to replace you with younger players. So that's how the rosters are constructed. The young players are going to play, and especially in a collision sport like this. But it's always valuable, because those guys are hungry for the information. All the older players I've had that are really good players, they're always hungry for information. But when you're green and young like that, you want the information. You're listening to everything the coaches are saying to you. You're gathering information from your experiences out there on the field, and it's always good to see that. It's always good to see that, and then the fact that they can stack it. Okay, can you learn from your mistake and can you stack it and not get got on that again? That's always encouraging there. That's why that one Robert clip for Harper was so big, in my opinion. That was a good play.
Over these last couple of weeks, can you pinpoint a few things that you can say you're probably the most proud to see from your defense to end the season?
Most proud is to get 2 wins, and then I'll be even more proud or prouder, or whatever the comparative is, if we get a 3rd one. That's really what I care about, to share with you guys, and then from there, it's their individual growth as a player as they improve. I talk about it when they come into the spring. You can go anywhere and learn about curl flat or playing outside leverage and man-to-man. Okay, I can help you with your football position. I can help you with your football IQ. I think that's the unique part of our staff in terms of our knowledge there, helping those guys with that. So it's the small things for me, Tyree with his base, playing with the base more often. Carter playing with better pad level because he's naturally cut high, playing with lower pad level. Spill having run stuffs on the other side of the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage more than he had last year. Those are the little bits and pieces, not necessarily having 100 and whatever tackles. It's like, how many tackles do we have at the line of scrimmage or behind it? Because those are focal points when we talk to them in the spring. So those small things that aren't catchy or anything like that, that's what I'm proud about, but most proud when they win, because I want them to get the reward of all their hard work.
Patrick, you know, when you go all the way to training camp, there's always a next day for coaches and players. There's a schedule, there's something to do. After Sunday, that schedule, you know, kind of dissipates a little bit. And so for you, I mean, have you given thought to what the next step is? Is this where you want to be?
I'll be miserable the next day. That's really because we're not going to be fighting for the playoffs. It's the, I think, 8th or 9th year in a row haven't been to the dance, and I mean, I was spoiled with, you know, Tom and Bill and those guys and Vince and those guys. My first 7 years, then my 1 year at the Giants. I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna be miserable. My kids aren't going to be around me. My wife's not going to be around me. I'm gonna be going through situations as I'm watching the games, but I'm so thankful that Dante Scarnecchia had told me my first, we lost the first year in the wild card, and I think he asked me did I watch the games, and I said no, and for the divisional round, and he said you gotta learn from it, you gotta digest it, you gotta learn from it for when the opportunity comes. So, you know, reluctantly, that's what I'll be doing. I will be miserable, but that's the thing. It's hard when you don't make it to the dance. I mean, the biggest thing in this league is about production and winning, so you know that's what you want to do, but I'll get over it and then readjust and get back to it and figure out, you know, how to get to the dance. Just get a chance.
Patrick, that's a great answer, but specifically to what Vinny asked you about coming back, you've done a tremendous job here, and obviously your name has been floated a lot as a head coach, but is coming back to the Raiders something that you'd be desirous of?
First, the great job is that's not true. we haven't won. So that's how I judge it. So I love the relationship with the players and this organization, but I'm focused on the Chargers. But the misnomer or the miscalculation of being a great job, I gotta do a better job. Period. Point blank. That's how I judge it.
How you describe your relationship with Rob Leonard and the partnership you guys have on the staff?
You know, me and Robbie go way back. You know, he was assistant D-line. You know, the thing I was just talking to him this morning about it, just the way his teaching progression. Again, the teachers I've been around in terms of coaches, is bar none one of the best progressions and setups that I've been around. You know, doesn't matter what position. I mean, Robbie could coach any spot on the field. If I needed him to go coach the dime backer, the post safety, the nose tackle, the inside linebackers, I mean, the wealth of knowledge that he has and the way he's able to present it to the players. I mean, I always told him back in the day, like whenever I have a hand in hiring people, I want people that are better around me. He's better than me. GA's better than me. Those guys are better than me. That's why I want them around me. You know, I'm in this position like that, but like, got some good teachers on the staff, man. Robbie's one of them. He's one of them. So the relationship, you know, we want to win more games. I'm sure it's strained because we haven't won enough games, but relationship is great with him and his family. I'm so proud of the wealth of knowledge he has with the game and how he's progressed as a leader. You know, how he's able to change the culture in the room. You know, so it's really good to see.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.